not possible. It's just not possible. The other day, I was watching Batman The Dark Knight Rises, and I noticed this very important scene where the bad guy Bane presses a button and everything starts to explode. There were a few things that were actually not possible in real life. So today I'll be watching that scene of explosions when Bane presses the button and let you know from an engineer point of view what's actually possible in a real life and what's wrong. Okay, it's about to start.
Let the games begin.
Okay. Floor starts to collapse. And it seems that there were a lot of concrete columns. What did just happen there for the car to... on the bridge? These are the worst. After watching the video, there are a few things that I noticed. First, the tunnels, walls and roofs falling. Then there's a collapsing of the stadium floor. And then there's the bridges. The roof collapsing. It is possible. I was struggling to confirm if it was possible or not because of the way that the roof falls in very, very small pieces. In the second explosion, it does fall in bigger pieces, which is what you would expect more on this type of collapses. And then you cannot see any reinforcement. Overall, the way that it collapses is possible. Okay, now floor collapsing. I mean, it's very progressive, like perfectly progressive. Is it possible to fall and collapse that progressively? Yes, it is possible. You can see the remains of the concrete columns in there after the floor collapses, and that actually looks very accurate. Especially if what they did was to, let's say, explode or break the columns so the floor fell by itself. That's the kind of collapse that you would see. So, floor collapsing, tick. Yes, I think it's realistic. And the last part, the bridges. Okay, the first bridge that collapses is a suspension bridge, and it's just not possible. It's just not possible. The moment that this middle part of the bridge exploded and the cables that you can see there hanging break, the whole of the bridge, the entire length of the bridge would have collapsed. It would happen like a domino. The middle part breaks and the other sides of the bridge start falling again too. The way the suspension bridge works is with a primary cable that is supported on columns. Then you got secondary cables that are hanging from this primary cable and supporting the deck of the bridge. Now, when the explosion happened and the primary cable in the middle of the span broke and the deck also collapsed, the primary cable stays still and didn't move, and the secondary cables on the right hand side, on the left hand side of the explosion remain still, and the remains of the bridge seems to be in position. Now, this is not how it would have happened. What would have happened is the moment that the middle span of the bridge collapses and explodes and the cable break, the rest of the bridge just starts falling like in a domino effect. So everything on the right hand side and to the left hand side of the explosion would have started to collapse too, instead of staying there still. Bridge collapsing? No, just this part was wrong. In conclusion, I think they did alright. They got correctly 2 out of 3 explosions and building falling, and then the bridge is the only one that I do not see happening. That's the theoretical explanation. And then, is there a practical way to find out if it's that actually possible? So let's see if I got enough materials at home to make a small model of a suspension bridge that can show how the bridge would have collapsed actually. Okay, calling it a model would be too much of a compliment. I realize my skills for DIY or modeling are not very good. You will see that the quality is not so good, and it actually didn't reflect properly the collapse of the bridge. I made this so-called model and decided let's make a video out of it. Why not?